Hi guys, how y'all doing? Good. Hello to no one watching. My name is Era, and we are going to be talking about what I watched in February. Happy belated Black History Month. Happy I'm Black every day. There ain't no other way to be. Month. Yeah, so we're going to talk about what I consumed this Black History Month, which I specifically set out to consume only Black media this month, just because it felt important to me. And also, I believe the last Black History Month was the 100th Black History Month, which is, crazy that, we live in a time. So I watched a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna start with what I like. When it hit Black History Month, I was like, these are the things, the Black History Month. This is the Black History Month I know. First up, Tom Swift. Yeah, I watched one episode of Tom Swift. I don't remember what episode it was. And that show remains to be insanity. Remains to be the wildest CW thing I think I've ever consumed. I didn't consume Arrow or The Flash, but I did consume Supernatural, Nancy Drew, Tom Swift. Yeah, absolutely insane. Just like a great example of like Black people being unable to be written at all. It's just like, I guess this is what a rich Black person would act like. I wouldn't know. Next up, I watched an episode of Watson, which is on Paramount Plus. Yeah, it's House with Sherlock themed, and I didn't fucking like it. It pissed me off because the whole point of Sherlock Holmes and Watson is that they learn from each other, right? So in a world where Sherlock is dead, right? I don't think Watson would then turn around and be like, well, then I now have to be Sherlock. I think he would be like, I now have to take what I've learned and put it to use. So it pissed me off because I love Sherlock Holmes. And that is my comfort character, apparently. Another one episoder, How to Get Away with Murder. Okay, I can't tell you how old I was when I was watching How to Get Away with Murder in real time with my mom, but I can tell you that it had a lasting impact. It was Scandal, it was How to Get Away with Murder, and it was Grey's Anatomy until Sandra Oh left. Okay? And I feel like you can see that in me. It just is top tier. It's top tier, I fear. I don't know if I'll ever actually go and rewatch that whole series because it gets crazy. But I did enjoy the first episode, and it did make me want to watch the second one, I have to be honest. But them's the breaks. I only allow myself one episode. Another one episoder, because I have to fit this in wherever I can, is season 2, episode 14 of Nancy Drew. It's an amazing episode, okay? They are trapped in the police precinct and they have to solve this murder case or this missing persons case from like years ago of this black woman, and it happened around the same time that Nancy solved her first case. So it was like this little white girl took up all the media, and so this went unnoticed, undocumented, right? And it was a case of police brutality. Like Nancy Drew, Ned Nickerson in the room together, Nancy being like, "Are you okay?" and Nick being like, "No." Sorry, that episode is amazing. It's my favorite episode of the entire series. So obviously I was like, I have to watch this month. It's the only bottle episode. It's only Ned and Nancy on the inside of this precinct. Bess and George have to get Carson involved. It's just so scrumptious. It's just so scrumptious. I would recommend watching that episode. I would recommend watching Nancy Drew. Don't I look like a bitch who watched Nancy Drew's The CW show? Next, I'll talk about movies that I watched. First and foremost, Sister Act 2 with Lauryn Hill. Yeah. It's required for me to watch that. If I haven't watched that in a long time, and if Black History Month comes around, oh yeah, you better believe that I'm watching that, okay? Joyful, joyful life we are today. Okay, I'm gonna get that out. But Sister Act 2 is so amazing. It's so beautiful. Everybody is such a great singer, and Whoopi Goldberg has this tenacity to bring all these people together. Well, I guess this character has the tenacity to bring all these people together, and it's really amazing. And I think I really like it because of the idea of like this kind of like celebrity Whoopi Goldberg has become is stepping back to help a community that she like doesn't know anything about, but because her friends are like, we really need your help, she steps in, miraculously bonds these people together, shows them how much music can like create a community. And yeah, it's great. I also made Garrett watch the Lovings documentary on HBO Max because we are an inter-race couple, and like I just think it's important to know, you know, where we come from, and like think about like what our lives would have been like if we were in that time when interracial dating was illegal. Yeah, so that was very enlightening. They went through a lot of stuff. There was a lot of hiding they had to do, a lot of lying and wanting to have support of their community and not really having the support of their community. So it's just like at every turn they had to keep everything a secret, and they weren't even allowed to live together, but obviously they still did, that they were a couple. And it was really hard to swallow that it wasn't that long ago, and that they had to write to these lawyers just to like have their case be heard or looked at. I really enjoyed the documentary. It had their daughter in it. She was being interviewed, and it really puts things into perspective. I'll say. The next thing that I watched was Love and Basketball, which I found on DVD. That movie needs a moment of silence. The casting, amazing. The story, amazing. Like literally bringing tears to my eyes in this moment. So heartfelt, so real, so true, so honest in a way of like, it's just like being yourself and trying to connect to people and only having like one person in your pretty much your entire life see you the way that you want to be seen, and still having to fight this like, what type of man do I want to be, what type of woman do I want to be, how can I express this in a way that's not going to make me feel uncomfortable, how am I going to face all these things that I have been unwilling to face, like her mom like really pushing her to be prissy, and she's like being like, I don't want to be prissy, like fuck that, and then his dad like cheating on his mom, and you know, having to kind of choose a side, kind of be like, my dad wouldn't do that, but he obviously has. Like here, my mom is like a living example of his abuse, and like the breaking of that facade that he like held his father up to. It's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful movie, and it makes me happy, and I'm so glad I found it on DVD. For a really long time, I was scared to like sit down and watch it, but when I found it on DVD, I was like, okay. Okay, I got to, and it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. It was absolutely worth it. The next thing, ooh, pain in my heart. The next movie on the list is Nope, by Jordan Peele with Keke Palmer. It remains my favorite Jordan Peele movie. It remains extremely important to me. It remains to be about the spectacle of it all, to be about discovery, you know, discovering and sharing and fighting for survival and like fighting to be seen. And it's so amazing to watch it and see like how much I unfortunately do not remember the actor's name. I'm so sorry. To see how much like horse training and like this interaction with nature and these interaction with animals is able to give them a sense of another way to look at this otherworldly being, and another way to like conceptualize how they want to work with it, work against it. And it's just truly amazing, and it's also truly terrifying. It's truly terrifying. Yeah, I just think that movie is so smart. It really uses all of the knowledge it has to get to the end of the story. It uses everything it has in its repertoire to make sure the characters get to the end. And I think that's really, really cool. And I just appreciate things that are like smart in that way, that are like, and here's the information that your characters are starting with, and here's the information that you both will be learning at the same time over the course of this film. That's great. Because then when you rewatch it, you can be like, and that's how he knew. and that's how he connected them, those parts, and that's how, you know, and that's really fun. So those were the movies. Now back to TV shows that I didn't just watch one episode of. I forced Garrett to start watching Pose, which is a big ask, honestly. It's very sad, but I love it. I think that I started watching Pose in college, and then I never finished it. But my friends had a class where they had to watch an episode of Pose, or like the first 3 episodes or something. And so I kind of like was, I guess, kind of like mediating that. But I never got to finish it, which I still hope that me and Garrett can continue watching this, even though it's not Black History Month anymore, obviously, because I do want to finish it, and it is a very heart-wrenching show, and I want to kind of be able to sit with that feeling and kind of be able to sit with that time. It's a beautiful show. It's a beautiful, heartfelt show. And it does not forget the time that it is set in. I feel as though it stays true to the culture of that time and the weight of that time as well, and like the perseverance that everybody in that time just like had to go through to survive, to live even. Yeah, I hope we can finish that show together. But I know that it is a lot. But I watched Breaking Bad, so I feel like some banger cartoons. Okay, Invincible Fight Girl. Please, I want a season 2. Everybody go watch it so that they can get a season 2 right now. Okay, Invincible Fight Girl just is about this girl who wants to be a wrestler, but her parents are bankers, and so she's like is secretly training herself, and then it all comes to a head, and then she just has to go on this journey. Like there's like no way for her to like go back to being a banker. Like she like has to become a wrestler, and she just truly will not stop fighting. She will not stop fighting. Okay, she gets in the ring and she's like, I'm finishing this. This is being finished, period. No matter the outcome, this is being finished, and I'm putting my all into it. Dub, okay? It's a freaking dub. Do yourself the favor of watching Scavenger's Reign, also on HBO Max. I think also on Netflix. Do yourself a huge favor and go watch that show and really expand what you think is possible in this world. Expand what you think survival is, and expand what you think knowledge is. Expand what you think that you know. Because I think watching that show, I was like, I think I might know more things than I think I do. Like there's stuff in my brain that I just haven't tapped on in a while. You know what I'm saying? So do yourself the favor, go witness that creativity, go witness that innovation, go witness that evolution, and take notes and figure out what you like, figure out what you don't like, and really watch how the world changes our characters, and watch how they evolve, and watch how they adapt to the world around them, and understanding that it isn't a high possibility for them to maintain this, but watch them try. All right, this is another thing that only got 1 season, which is so fucking upsetting, because they obviously, like, they had huge plans. Like, where it started was not going to be where it fucking ended at all. So do yourself that huge favor and go watch those cartoons, because they are beautifully drawn and beautifully executed and beautifully thought out. I started to watch Woke, which is on Hulu, and it has, God, I can't remember his name, but he's from New Girl. He's Winston, which automatically I was like, I have to watch this. I hope to finish this series as well, even after Black History Month, because I do think it's an important watch for me. It's a show. It's called Woke. I don't think I said that. It's Woke. It's about a cartoonist who is living in this bubble, and then his bubble kind of gets popped, and he has to really reassess what his art means to him and what he wants to create and what he wants to be seen as. And I think it is very interesting from a Black creator perspective, and very interesting from the perspective of the world, of like how the world will view you as your brain develops, as your view changes, as your demographic changes, as what you draw changes, as you change, how is the world going to react to you? So I really would like to finish that series. I think it has 2 seasons, and also watch that show, because there's no love for it on Tumblr, and that's just like crazy to me. If you can't find it on Tumblr, where the hell you gonna go? I'm just saying, guys. Shit. I also ventured into The Bear this Black History Month, because I obviously have spoiled myself for the season finale of season 4. But in spoiling myself, I accepted the fact that that show is about Sydney, which I think everyone should just accept that. The show's about her. It's about her. It's for her. Look at the fucking evidence. It's about her. It's about failure. It's about success. It's about perseverance. It's about magic. Okay? That's what it's about. It is about all the people in Sid's corner. How her influence helps them live, and how their influence helps her persevere. And one day I'll finish the season. One day I'll finish the season. One day I'll finish season 4 and cry my eyes out and smoke a cigarette after, like they do in the show. One day. Oh, I also watched #1 Detective Agency with Jill Scott. Idris Elba is in the first episode. Also, the woman from Avenue 5 is in the first episode. And it was really great. It was really interesting. The craziest part about it is that it was funded by Harvey Weinstein, which that is truly the craziest part about it. That the #1 Ladies Detective Agency, #1, was written by a white man, and then the TV show was funded by Harvey, not Steve. So that was pretty crazy. All right. It's time for the D&D section. The theme for this D&D section is, and always will be, if I'm honest, Abria Iyengar. Sorry. Sorry. I love her. Have I talked about her consecutively in the past 3 of these media consumptions videos? Yes, I have. And eventually I will be making a video about her playstyle, about her DMing, in order to, you know, become a better writer, player, understander, improver. So first and foremost, Pirates of the Leviathan, which dropout show based off of Fantasy High. Matt Mercer's in it, Marisha's in there, obviously Rian Iyengar, Carlos Luna is in it, which made it very hard to pay attention to because it's just hard to see Carlos Luna these days. I love Abria's dedication. Like, she literally is like, I am this character and we are doing it right now, this moment. I am this character and this is all I've ever been. And that's really just great. It's so immersive. It's like every time you get taken out of the story a little bit, there's a Bria to come in to like ground you back into what this story actually is. Critical Role Campaign 4, DM'd by Brennan Lee Mulligan. And I believe it was like the Seekers were the section of the campaign. With the Bria, Ashley, Matt, and I know his name. I don't know why I'm acting like I don't know his name. I think we all know who I'm talking about anyway. I'll put him up and say his name. Alex. Alex Ward. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I have no idea what's happening in Campaign 4 of Critical Role. But I know that Abria is there. And I know she's a druid. And I think that's literally what's most important to me. I know she's a druid and she be helping her bitches and she is a mother. Okay? And I think that's all I needed to know. It's been great to watch them, like, cause I started watching it like when it first came out, and like the rotating people every episode, and the funeral, and then people going off on the trips, and you know, so it was great to like have that starting point and then go to this like Seekers section of it and then see how like how Matt's character and Abria's character are starting to bond, and how everybody has become different in a way, and like they have been through, or how Alex's character has changed. I didn't know that much about Ashley's character to begin with, but I knew that she was very powerful, and just to see like her like defend herself and like figure out what is going to work and what is not going to work, and where she needs to be and where she doesn't need to be. So that's pretty good. That is all that I watched in the month of February. I'm gonna make a separate video about the books that I made. I wish. I'm gonna make a separate video about the books that I read, and like the books that are like permanently on my Black History Month TBR, ready to go, no matter what. You will not catch me slipping ever again. But yeah, so that's all that I watched. I felt like I had a great month of watching, to where like getting back to like what I was originally watching, like Elementary and stuff, felt kind of like lackluster, because the media that I was consuming was beautiful. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for caring. Thank you so much for clicking. I'll do a quick plug. I have my crocheting website up. Order something, look at it, I don't know. Yeah, thanks. I love you. Bye.
You'll find something else to watch, or just watch this video. I know we had a lot of fun, but you can